Bad news for some of you guys, and that's that Birkenstocks are not healthy shoes. They do not produce healthy footwear. So, to back up a little bit, Birkenstocks are a brand that are beloved by people all around the world. Lots of people even attest to the fact that they help their pain. Now, I cover foot pain. What a lot of people tend to talk about is back pain, different joint pain. Some do talk about foot pain as well, though. And funny enough, I have the opinion that I have because I wore Birkenstocks for about a year and a half while I was in pretty bad foot pain with plantar fasciitis. What I did was I wore them that entire time because I couldn't walk in anything else. I felt like I had no other options. So I was stuck in those for quite a while, not seeing a way out either because I would wear them every single day. And as soon as I would take them off and try to walk on, hard flooring or take a shower or have the covers of the bed kind of like push down on my toes, it would hurt instantly again. I was right back in pain. So I kind of noticed the pattern that I may be walking in these Birkenstocks and not be in pain, which sure, that's a positive when you're in excruciating pain. But if you take them off and you're right back into it, aren't you still stuck with the same problem? So I realized these Birkenstocks hadn't actually cured anything. And having dug deeper into the foot pain and the footwear rabbit hole, I guess, I kind of put together the fact that Birkenstocks are basically an orthotic for your feet. When you go to the doctor and they recommend that you go out and you buy orthotics from the shoe store, or that you even have custom orthotics made for you, which cost several $100s, all they're doing is creating an insole that is, I guess, customized for your foot to basically support it, to prop it up, because your arch is collapsing. Your arch is weak, it's collapsing, and they're telling you that you need to be supported by this outside force. We're going to support it from the bottom, push up to make a strong arch. Now, it's a whole separate video that's not how you support a arch anyway, a foot arch. That's not how you make a strong arch as it is. That's a separate topic. But for the matter here, what I realized with Birkenstocks was all they were really doing was creating a orthotic for your feet that you wouldn't really have to go get customized. They created a very strong, stiff, rigid orthotic that pretty much anyone could wear. And most people who wear them talk about how they're pretty uncomfortable for the first like several days. But there's like this break-in period, and then you actually find that they're very comfortable. So isn't that funny that they're very uncomfortable at first, but then once maybe your feet have gotten used to them, because in this case, your feet are actually the more malleable factor here, not the shoes. The shoes are not getting pushed down, it's your arch that's getting pushed up. So your foot is actually under the impression of the orthotic itself, which not, in my opinion, that's not how it should be. So basically, what I came to realize, long story short, was that Birkenstocks are a crutch. I call them a crutch, a band-aid. They're a cast. Like they'll get you from point A to point B. They'll help you survive. You won't thrive though. And that's the issue here. I'm in the business of helping people thrive. I want people to get back to their life. So Birkenstocks to me, not actually a healthy shoe. And to get into a couple more specifics here, I'll list off why. Number one, I talked about the built-in arch support. This is an issue. I am someone who does not believe in arch support because arch support is the exact opposite of what you think it is. It does not make your arch stronger, it literally makes it weaker. Now, like I said, while you're wearing it, it feels fine because you are supported. You have a structure that is going to hold you in place whether or not you're using your own power or not. Well, that's an issue. I need you doing it with your own power And this is what I tell people, because your arches are weak. You need to get them strong. You don't want to be reliant on a pair of shoes. So that's the first issue. The second, I also quickly mentioned too, the sole of the shoe is far too rigid. I mean, a Birkenstock sole, it doesn't even bend. That's not how our feet were meant to be. And when we're putting shoes on our feet, we are doing them a disservice if the sole does not even bend. Our feet are meant to bend, and they are meant to adapt, is the word I'm looking for, to the different surfaces that they're on and the different positions that they're taking up. Staying in the exact same rigid place all day is not helping anything. Third point, the toe box is too narrow. Now, some people would disagree with me on this, that the toe box is wide enough. I do have a wide foot myself, but I would still disagree that the toe box is a little more narrow than it should be. And like I said, there's no flexion to these shoes. So once you hit that outside wall of the shoe, that's it. So basically, the toe box is too narrow, and when it's so rigid, there's no flexion, you don't have any allowance to go any wider. So that's an issue as well. And the last problem is the built-in toe bar. Now this is an interesting one because Birkenstocks on their unique footbed have a built-in toe bar on their sandals, at least. I don't know if they're in all the shoes, but I wore the sandals. And I have found through some research that these can contribute to mallet toe, claw toe, and hammer toes, which are actually all fairly similar conditions. And it basically just comes from the fact that your toes are always grasping over this toe bar, so they're becoming like clawed. They're picking up this clawed motion, and in my opinion, that's not going to serve you long term. That's going to be long term detrimental, if anything. So those are the 4 points that I like to mention with Birkenstocks. Like I said, I relied on them for a year and a half. So do they have a use as a crutch, as an orthotic? Sure. If you're in a lot of pain and you need to get out of pain like now because you can't walk, fair enough. That's what I had to do too. I couldn't walk in anything else. So I wore those for a while and they served me that way. But I realized that I was just a patient, basically. I was just walking around always on survival mode. And that's not what I wanted for myself. I wanted my life back. So basically, I have an article that has been written on Birkenstocks. It's actually an older article of mine, but it got quite a bit of engagement because a lot of people found it to be controversial. So I'll link it in the description below this video. You should check it out. It will go into a bit more detail than I did here. And, as always, I'll have better products linked in the description below too, because I'm sure people are wondering, well, if you don't like Birkenstocks, what shoes are healthy then? I will have a couple listed below. And I may have other sources linked down there below as well, because I do offer coaching to people. I offer a free newsletter. I offer a lot of different foot pain services. So if you're interested, just get in contact with me. It'll be real easy. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one though.